Hello, hello, everybody. We made it to Friday. Let me go ahead and pull up my stream. Vera, you beat me to it. Hello. Glad to see you joining. If you are like Vera and you're joining in here via Facebook, feel free to just say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from, what kind of plans you got going on for this weekend. I always like to kind of interact with you guys while we're doing this, while we're together, especially on a Friday. And if you have any questions when it comes to details about any of these stories, feel free to ask in the comments as well, and I'll be able to kind of in live time answer those questions for you if we have that information. If not, we can always add it to our list of things to follow up on. So just know that I'll be looking down, checking to make sure that we are up to date and all caught up on the comments as we are going through things. So let's go ahead and get to it right now, starting with this first story here. It's actually an update, really to quite a tragic story that we've been following for you this week. So Conway police have arrested a 19-year-old man who they say shot and killed a star high school athlete. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up his mugshot here right now over on the website. So Derek Ashley, who you see there, is charged with murder in connection to the shooting death of Janiah Richburg. So police say he fired a shot into a home on Horry Street Tuesday night, which killed the 18-year-old Loris High School senior. So I'm going to go ahead and bring video up again of her so we can kind of focus on her because she seemed to be quite an accomplished young lady. So the school district says she was just an outstanding student in both academics and athletics. She was a three-time region player of the year in basketball. She also really excelled in track and field. So just a tragic end to her life, being cut so short here. But when it comes to, again, the individual that's now facing charges, facing a murder charge, Derek Ashley, records show he is being held in jail without bond. All right, so I'm going to pop myself up for just a moment, and let's go ahead and lighten things up here quite a bit. That certainly was heavy. And we're kind of getting into the golf spirit, so it is only fitting to kind of check in and see how things are going on the golf courses here across the Grand Strand, because we all know the 2025 One Flight Myrtle Beach Classic is just around the corner. It's less than a week away. Can you believe it? So as the excitement builds, I just love that. He just said, forget it. Anyway, so as the excitement builds, several golf courses all over the Grand Strand say they've already been booked out for quite some time, including Whispering Pines, which is located right across from the Myrtle Beach International Airport. I know our Ian Klein also spoke with folks out at Prestwick. So course workers say really between the perfect weather we've been enjoying lately and of course some of the PGA players heading into town, there really has been no shortage of golfers. All of this, of course, coming ahead of the second annual One Flight Myrtle Beach Classic and just really a general wave of popularity for the game of golf. So if you are kind of getting in the spirit or you just love golf anyway and you're just looking to try and hit the links over the next week or so, the workers at the courses we spoke to suggested, always a good tip is to just make a tee time sooner rather than later, because the sooner you do that, the better chance you'll have of actually getting out on the course. And really, that's the name of the game, right? Okay, so now getting back to some more hard, serious news here. And again, just another sad story here that you may have seen on Facebook. I know that there was kind of a call for people to pray and think of this individual here, this officer, because an Horry County police officer is recovering tonight following just a serious-looking motorcycle crash here, and this happened while on duty. As you can see there, that was an Horry County PD motorcycle there. So here's what we know about the situation. We do know authorities were called just after 7:30 yesterday morning to the area of Red Bluff and Sandpiper Road. So this is out near Loris. So investigators say that crash involved the Horry County PD motorcycle and another vehicle, and you can see really that front end just really banged up, quite like the front wheel there and front end seemed to be almost demolished there. So we are told, unfortunately, that officer was badly injured, and officials do expect a long road to recovery. So certainly go ahead and extend your thoughts as he gets going on that long road. Again, this is all very new, just happened yesterday. So we're going to try to keep checking in with how things are going and how he's progressing there. But we do know when it comes to the crash itself, South Carolina Highway Patrol is now investigating what led up to this crash. So we will let you know if we get any updates and details on that. In the meantime, though, all we really can do is kind of keep him in our thoughts. All right, gonna pop myself back up here because, as always, we always have to have some mug shots. I mean, it's not an update without at least a couple, and we got three for you tonight. So, starting with this one here, we're staying in Horry County for this story, where we do know an Horry County woman is behind bars after allegedly firing a bullet that hit a dog. As an animal lover, I mean, many of us, this just grinds your gears to say the very, very least. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. Police arrested Tressa Tierney yesterday. She's charged with ill treatment of animals and pointing and presenting a gun. Those charges stem from a shooting along Punk Road in Little River last month. That's when Tierney is accused of going over to this residence and shooting a gun, hitting a 3 to 4-year-old pit bull lab mix, hitting that dog just above its left eye, and that dog did have to go get medical treatment for that injury. Don't know how it is doing now, but we can tell you that jail records show Tierney is being held without bond. All right, gonna pop myself back up again so I can do another mugshot switch because, as I told you, we got 3 mugshots. So we've been through 2. I'll have one more for you. And this is one you probably will want to go ahead and take a look at because this guy is at large. So here's the situation here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up so you can get a good look. Authorities are asking you to be on the lookout for this inmate who they say walked off the job at a Bojangles in Florence. So the South Carolina Department of Corrections says this guy right here, this is 32-year-old Ulysses Connor Jr., left that Bojangles restaurant located on Celebration Boulevard while taking out the trash last night, and he vanished. So before his escape, though, he was assigned to Palmer Pre-Release Center, which is a minimum security facility in Florence, and he was able to work just his terms, as he was getting ready for release, which he would have been up for parole next January. He was serving 10 years in prison for burglary. That was burglary. It was two counts of burglary in Orangeburg. So officials describe him as 5'7", weighing just under 190 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He has several tattoos, including a New York Yankee symbol on his left arm, a Statue of Liberty on the right arm, and on his neck, you can kind of see it here in this mugshot, a tattoo of the initials MBK. So the Department of Corrections wanted poster says there is a reward for information leading to his capture, but again, they are still trying to track him down. So if you see him, you are just urged to call 911 and let authorities know where he is so they can bring him back into custody. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the forecast before we get going with what we are watching for you new at 11. And finally, starting to see some of those chances for some much needed rain ramping back up. So take a look there. I got the Grand Strand 10-day up. So you still can make some weekend plans because most of Saturday will be dry, but we're talking afternoon and evening. That's when we're going to kind of welcome in those chances for some isolated showers and storm risks. So near the beaches, we're still only going to see about a 20% chance of rain by late afternoon and evening. Inland, a little bit higher there, close to 30%. And then west of I-95, you guys are looking a little closer to 40%. So we could see a strong storm or two, but our First Alert Weather Team has shared with us that only a level 1 risk is in place across most of the region, but we're not talking about any widespread severe storms expected. So again, really your day, if you're trying to make some outdoor plans, Maddie B and the whole crew has been saying Saturday is your day to try and get those outdoor plans. Sunday is going to be the kind of like veg out at home while it's raining, but you are looking good for most of Saturday. We're talking temperatures near 80 at the beaches and then about mid 80s inland. And then, as I said, our best chances for rain is going to arrive late Saturday night and into Sunday. So Sunday, again, is going to be the day when we're going to see more of those chances, our greatest chances for periods of rain to be coming into our area. Not going to be a washout, but certainly not going to be the day to get out and about. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on here before we wrap things up, but talk a little bit more about, this is a story we actually talked about starting at 6 o'clock tonight, but we will have a brand new layer for you tonight at 11. But I do want to go ahead and kind of give you some context in case you weren't able to join us earlier on our newscasts. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and start popping up video. So some newly obtained footage is shedding light on a now former Horry County police officer's potential misconduct while on the scene of a high-profile deadly shooting that we have talked at length about and reported over and over for different layers of this, and this is just the newest next layer here. You may have seen conversation on social media about what I'm about to get into here, but attorneys have shared body cam video with us. You're seeing some of that here. This is from September 9th, 2023, which is the day North Myrtle Beach restaurant owner Weldon Boyd shot and killed Scott Spivey along Camp Swamp Road in Longs during what authorities describe as a road rage situation. So that video captures now former Horry County Patrol Sergeant Paul Damon Vescovi flashing a written note reading, quote, "Act like a victim, camera." Flashing that to Weldon Boyd and Bradley Williams, who was riding in the same truck with Boyd when that shooting happened. And then it shows, again, that now former officer flashing that note in the aftermath of the shooting while at the scene. So today we got to hear from Scott Spivey's sister, Jennifer Foley, who has been pushing for justice ever since the state attorney general's office decided not to file charges against Boyd in connection to that shooting. They said that there was not enough evidence, and again, he was citing self-defense. So she believes the investigation was mishandled from the very beginning, and she says this footage that you're looking at right here, she says that only further proves that. But I did tell you that we will have a new layer for you tonight, and this is how it came to my attention. So new tonight at 11, we're also going to get to hear from the independent journalist and researcher who originally picked up on those words written on that notepad while scouring the body cam footage herself. And to give her so much credit where credit is due, she really seems to be truly the catalyst for bringing this layer of this story to the forefront. And we get to hear from her tonight at 11. So make sure you join us. Julie is going to, again, show us that footage, get us all caught up to speed. We're going to hear from Jennifer Foley, and then that new layer, we're going to hear from that journalist who really helped bring this to the forefront, which may be how you kind of caught wind of this situation if you've been seeing it on social media. I know that's where I first saw it. So we're going to really dig into that for you tonight if you're able to stay up a little bit longer to join us tonight for WMBF News at 11. But for now, that's going to do it for this update from the WMBF News First Alert Desk.